Good evening. Wait for a few people to get in here. This is going to be the Divine Masculine reading. I was going to do this one yesterday and everything worked against me doing it. So I thought, okay, it's not the time. So we're doing it today. We're going to be using my Wisdom of the Oracle deck to start off for the Divine Masculine reading. Where's the cards gone? There they are. I've had my new desk, so everything's kind of a lot wider. Hopefully that'll be a bit more clearer. I've got loads more space in here now. Well, my desk corner area. Hey, sunshine. Hiya, Dan. I take it you liked the message from the Sunday morning message yesterday, did you? How are we? Hiya, Debbie. Let me just see if I can get a bit of a better angle. Maybe a bit better. Hiya, Debbie. How are we, sweet? Have you had a good day? The Sunday mess. I thought it was as well. Well, I've had a song for the Divine Masculine, whether that's the Divine Masculine within you or where I've got more feeling it's more for the Divine Masculine of the opposing energy to Divine Feminine. I've had a great day. Lots of changing round. Hiya, Kelly. Oh, okay. Hello, Jess. Hopefully we can get it done in your dinner half-hour break. Now this could either be for the masculine side of you, because we all have masculine feminine energy, and that's okay as long as it's balanced. It's when we have the wounded masculine in us that overrides and overtakes the feminine energy, and the feminine energy has to go within and the masculine energy has to really come forward, i.e. we've never had anybody to really rely on. We don't have anybody to turn to do things. We have to do them ourselves. We have to go get for ourselves. Those are energies that usually mean that we have some kind of wounded energy on either on a female level. So we have to hide that part away of ourselves, and then the masculine overtakes that by stepping in and being the doer, the person who, I'm never relying on anybody because I've never had anybody to rely on. If you was expecting a man to stand up, you'd say, you don't have to do this. Like, I'm the man. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to protect you. When you don't have that, especially from a child age, you tend to take on the characteristics of that person, especially if you was raised within a household or in a society raised you up in the belief system that you never had anybody but yourself. So you didn't live life, you survived. We as children had to learn to survive. And when you're in survival mode, you cannot be your feminine energy. And especially with how the systems changed in the 60s with the feminine movement. And yes, by all means, it was a great thing. But like you say, I was watching Teal Swan the other day, and she put it so eloquently. She said, years ago, it was completely off to the right. Like women had no rights. They had no reason to be able to stand up for who they believed in. They were walked over. They didn't have equal share, equal or anything on any kind of equilibrium. The women's rights movement came in and completely swing-balled that to the other side. So rather than it being swung to the middle, so it was now even, so the two could come together, it was swung in the opposite direction, which created a generation of men who were then swung in the opposite direction because they weren't needed. The two main fundamental things a man is attracted to is being needed and appreciated. And I know that sounds really hard to understand, but if you have a place in your heart and your life where you need a man, they come towards you because a man likes to feel needed. They want to protect you. They need to feel as though they have a purpose in your life, in your space. We who are raised within a household and who have so much wounded masculine energy because of fathers who ran away or mothers that became hyper independent, we were raised, you never need to rely on a man. You are your own, you are who you are. Do not be weak to this. So we hid away the feminine side of us that really wanted to open up. We are told so many times that you have attachment issues. Healthy attachment is good. It means that we are connected. It means I don't want to lose you. It means that I do have that bit of a jealous streak when, I feel as though the energy's been drawn away. And that's healthy because it means the other person feels wanted, needed, appreciated. And then they have to then match that energy and say, it's okay, I can see what's going on. I am here for you. And then swing you back in and with their protective arms, bring you in. Oh, look, she's feeling a little bit jealous. A man can feel that as a bit cute, unless it's to the extreme. Well, actually have toxic. Toxic is always the extreme of what is healthy, either which one way or the other. Completely unattached and love, I'm moving on, I don't care, I've got no attachment, or completely possessive. There is a healthy swing in the middle. So a lot of us females were raised within that. So we have had this wounded masculine energy within us for so long. Are you the kind of woman that says, if you open the door for me, it's like, who does he think he is? I'll carry my own damn shopping. I'll go to work. I'll clean the house. I'll do this. Because we was made to believe that we had to do it. There is so many young people nowadays that have been raised in households that are single parents. Why? Because when a man doesn't feel needed or appreciated, right or wrong, he will go to a weaker female who he feels as though, even if they're not good for them, they are needed there. They are appreciated there. Then the other toxic side of things kick in. But this is what happens. So the strong feminine woman, if a strong woman with masculine wounded energy, will push a man away. It is very bare basics. And the same with a masculine man who carries too much feminine energy because one, he was attained to. So he's been raised as though he was never accountable to be a man, not made to do the basic things as that protected role, or shown because his father wasn't there, how to be a man. So his version of a man is mommy cooking for him all the time, cleaning for him, doing everything, handing in the money, and never letting those apron strings go. You tend to find a man who's unattainable, unattached, emotionally unavailable, has got a very strong woman by their side, i.e. their mum. Their mother is usually the kind that is a go-getter, a hard worker, probably does a male-esque role within the household. So she carries the burdens because she always has to and doesn't know when to relinquish those masculine sides of her and allow the son to express his masculine side. So it suppresses them, raising a generation of very feminine men who'll go, they become then the receiver. They become the ones who want to be cared for, the ones who want to be attained to and petted over, and the way a feminine would. So the roles have very much switched and reversed. This is due to the toxic lifestyles that they were raised in. So a man, I've experienced this, where you have a man who, well, you didn't ask me to help you, but I shouldn't have to ask. Nobody asks me. Now, my father's father, he was a very man's man, the masculine energy. So he would just get up on a Saturday morning. It's his ritual. He would get up, he'd go and get the newspaper, he'd come back, he'd get the lawnmower out, and he would do, he'd cut the lawn, and he'd probably go and sharpen the shears. Oh, look, that fence needs fixing, gets his hammer and nails out. Just the fixing, the providing, the doer. And the woman would be like, oh, look, he's fixed it, and the appreciation would be there. And this connection worked. Why do you think relationships years ago lasted for years and years, because the woman had the appreciation for a man and shown her appreciation, not just with love and affection. I'm going to make him his favourite biscuits. I'm going to make sure that that fire's stoked up for when he comes back home. Make sure that that tea is ready. Make sure that the water's boiling in the system, because I appreciate the fact that he's gone to work all day, or he spends his weekends, you know, doing this. And they had that. Everybody knew where they were. And I'm not saying you can't have like you can't be a working woman, but you have to attain to the feminine energy within you if you really want to get a masculine man. Every feminine that I know says, I can't get a man that looks after me. But then in the next breath, I don't need a man. Men ain't shit. If you don't need a man, then you will not get a masculine man. You will get a man who needs a woman. And the main objective for a man is to be needed and appreciated. So if you're carrying that masculine energy, you will attain a man who is connected and needs a woman. A man should want a woman. A man needs to feel needed. A woman doesn't like to feel needed. A woman likes to feel wanted. I don't want him to need me to have to clean up after him and need me to do this. I want him to want me. It's an intimacy. Into me you see. Women want intimacy. They want to know that you see them within and touch them of their inner self. A man, intimacy is a very different connection. So because we work on different wavelengths, we have to understand the other energy to be able to balance it. So if you have masculine energy in with you, you will then understand now when I say a masculine energy. So if I says to you, do you need a man in your life? And your first reaction is, hell no. Do I want one? Yes. I'm sorry, my darling, but the only man you're going to attract is a feminine one that you will never be truly feel protected by. The best thing for a woman, and the biggest attraction thing, and what makes it longevity, is a woman feeling safe. A woman has to feel safe in a man's arms, in a man's care. She has to feel protected. How can that man protect you when you are the one carrying the masculine energy? This is why changing your behavior and what you put out changes naturally internally how a man perceives things. Now, yet it can be hard because these cycles have inbred from we were young. These men have been raised from a young age that the mother takes over. They don't rely on nobody but their mother. So they become needy of a woman and needy of a woman to do for them. And don't have to work for appreciation. They don't have to protect. They just have to be needy. And that's a very one-way category. So bringing that back in, if a masculine can drain that back in and think, I understand what it feels to be needed, but I also have to tap into that masculine energy without it being an ego. Those kind of men tend to have an ego for the streets. So they want to be needed on a woman, want a woman to do all the rest of it. You hear lots of women say, well, I've got a man, he doesn't help with the cooking or the cleaning, he doesn't do the gardening, he just kind of sits there, plays on his games, watches TV all day, scratches his ass and then gets up and goes out. But on the streets is this big macho man, probably ends up in jail, he's a dude. Because the only place he feels as though his masculine energy can come out is on the streets. Switch how you react to this man or how you attract him with your feminine, masculine energy on a balance or less masculine energy on show and allow him to come in. So sometimes the masculine energy here is you. When I do the masculine read, it can be you. But at the same time, these masculines that are connected now to females who have done their journey and they have now accepted and their heart chakras opened, they are ready to be able to come in. I just need to draw it's true. It's something I've had to learn the hard way. I've always been somebody like I've decorated. I can change a tire. I've changed CV boots. I've put my own tiles down. I've refitted my own damn kitchen. I've decorated every property I've ever had, sanded floors, varnished them. And my ideal was, my mum always said, you don't need no man. And I once said, wouldn't you want a man, Nan? My nan's reaction, I need a man like I need all in the head. Their toxic belief system has inbred in me to believe I don't need a man. And I do. I need a man to stand next to me, just like that man needs the soft, energetic attention that I can give him. He needs to feel wanted and needed and embraced and pampered and you know, is tea on the table. I'm happy with this. And if that's not your thing, then that's okay. But I'm happy to play the housewife. But I had to understand that I had to stop playing the husband as well. I was the main breadwinner. I was the one who cooked, cleaned, done the school runs, done all of it. And because I didn't know how to ask for help, I would carry it like a burden, and then I'd explode and I'd go mad and I'd feel unappreciated and unwanted and not feminine. Everything. I just do it. Exactly. Just doing it is making and training that man you do not need him. Even if it takes 6 months, you have to retrain them the way you had to retrain yourself. Retrain you and it will retrain the man in your life. If you haven't got one, retrain yourself before you attract a new man. Otherwise, you're going to attract a man in exactly the same as that male energy who used to just lay around and doing. Same here. I would love a man that is a masculine man that goes, darling, the weekend we're going to a car boot sale, we're going fishing, we're going up here. We're doing all that. We're doing these kind of things. And I say, okay. Or you go, well, what we're going to do the weekend? And most of them go, I don't know. I want you to be the man. I want you to make the choices. A man cannot make choices. A man cannot multitask. Give a man a seed and he will grow it. But you have to give him the seed. So the way you do that, you'd say to a man, okay, well, maybe next week, it'd be really nice if we could maybe go to the pictures or go down. It would be lovely if we could just go for a walk down the canal and maybe grab a coffee or a gin and tonic or something. If not, how about we go and watch that new Marvel movie or something? It'd be really nice to do something together. So therefore, you've opened up the energy there of giving the man in your life a few options. So then when he comes to you and says, darling, get your glad rags on. Me and you, we're going down the canal. We're going to have a few G&Ts and we're going to have a little walk and I'm going to pick you up, and he picks up a bunch of flowers. All of a sudden then, he feels as though he has done something. You laid the seed in the ground. He grew it into a plant. He grew it into the affection. He grew it into a situation that you now appreciate him. He feels needed. He feels wanted. You two have a connection because now you feel as though you have the romance. A man doesn't know what a woman is thinking. Half the time, women don't know what they're freaking thinking. Men are very simplistic creatures. And this is what we women have to understand and balance before we can attain and bring one in. Because they come in, I want to be this person. And they come in and you go, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? Controlling. They're not controlling. They are not controlling. They are trying to be masculine. And we have been raised in such a masculine energy. The second anybody tells us what we've got to do, we jump. Our defenses go up. It triggers us. Deal with that part of yourself before you attract a man in, and you will have a more harmonious relationship. So that was a bit of a tangent there. Yeah, it's 20 minutes in. But I just felt as though I needed to, for people who are here on this journey and who are with me, when I'm talking about masculine energy, it can be you. You can be your own masculine energy. And you have to drop that if you want a masculine man to come in. Because you will only ever attain to what I would call a girly man. A feminine man. A man who is, my dinner's not done right, or the plates are still left there and they don't even have to put them in the damn dishwasher because they've had a mom come in. Was your dinner nice, darling? They're 20-4. Oh, is that your dirty washing? All right, then they bring it back and it's all folded clean. The plates are taken out and they're laying there like royalty. And then you meet this man and he's all out there and I'm going to do this, and you see him on the street, so he's got this ego about him and he's very protective and manly. Then you bring him home and he does absolutely fuck all. Why? Because he's been reared and raised in a situation where the woman played both roles, and he's seen that my mom could do it, so why can't you? Their idea and understanding of what a woman is and a man is very, very warped, the same way as mine was warped. I believed a woman could do everything because that's all I ever heard. And men of the same generation believe the same, which is why we have a mass generation of single bloody parents. And to me, that is down to the wire. And a woman has, and then they say, no, but a woman's learned how to do it. Yes, they did. They had to learn. We had to survive. I don't want to have to survive anymore. It's boring. It's old. It's tiring. It's draining. It's frustrating. Then it creates and breeds this sense of, I don't even like fucking men. When realistically, I adore them. People say, well, you, after what you've been through in life, you must hate men. God, no. I hate the woman I was, and I attracted the wrong kind of man. I love men. They are a beautiful breed of human beings who are there in their right form and who are treated right and given the right soil to grow, are the very thing that this land was raised and grew on. The Viking kind of man, the caveman kind of man. Most of the women that say, I would love that kind of man, the second he came home and said, why is my dinner not on the table? You would take that offensive, like, who the fuck you talking to? Well, I'm sorry, but if your man's just been out there earning the money, bringing back the goat on his shoulders and 3 logs under his arm to be able to put on the fire, why haven't you got the damn house ready? Or this, that and the other. There has to be an equal give and take. Yes, there has to be respect in there, but you have to still attain to the basic need. A woman wants to be wanted. A woman needs to be nurtured. Hi, my darling. And in the other hand, a man needs to be needed. And a man needs affection. And both have to then get to the middle. And both of you had to see the intimacy within each other. Both of you have to allow the other person to see into me. Into you I see. Into me you see. Intimacy. Let that man see into you to know how to care for you, how to protect you. And he needs to do the same, so then he can feel attained to, appreciated, put up in arms of softness and gentleness, because that's where he should be. In the true arms of a woman, a man who's big and bolshy should be able to come down and feel safe to open up and be vulnerable. And the same for a woman. It has to work both ways. Okay. We're now 23 minutes in. I need to stop talking, don't I? I've had lots of downloads and very understanding. I've been going through the relationship psychology of things and understanding how this kind of blends and molds. And I thought, you know what? Let me get on my channel. Let me explain this, because I think there's a massive warning. I kept saying the warning yesterday. And this, so I didn't really understand how I was going to give the warning out. And the warning is for the feminines who are carrying too much masculine energy. Balance that, learn to live with it and learn to balance it and deal with it, because they are just wounds. And the masculine, if you're out there and you're very much in your outside energy, but you have a wounded female within you, so you are masculine on the outside for the world to see, but when you're home, you don't just get up and do things. You don't protect your woman, and your woman is chasing around, putting the bins out, putting the pictures on the walls, plus doing the nurturing, plus doing the sewing, plus doing the cooking and the cleaning, and you're sitting with your feet up. She's going to feel unappreciated. It has to work both ways. But I see a big warning coming for the masculine. Hence the reason why I'm doing this reading today, because the warning came through yesterday, but it wasn't the right time. The reason it wasn't the right time is because I had to learn and understand how I could vocalize the masculine female energy to you. So I've had to turn the light off because it glares on my glasses. Right, so let me get my book. Let me get my book. And I'm hoping I'll be able to show you some of the cards. I've got a much bigger desk, a big L-shaped desk now. I've got almost all 40 decks of mine underneath on 2 big shelves. The reason he didn't protect you, but was protecting other people, is because you had probably got so much masculine energy within you. He didn't feel as there was a place in your life for him to protect you because you was the doer. You were so self-sufficient and what we was raised as being a good woman. That's why he didn't be that's why he couldn't protect you or be that woman to you. Thank you, Dan. See, now I appreciate the fact he could see I was in my energy, and that's a masculine man. Dan is very in tune with his masculine side, but understands the feminine. Because even in humor, there, look, I'm going to get an oxygen mask ready, get her a shot of something ready, get ready, let me rub her feet. I'm letting her go because she's shining in her own light. He's not squashing me down, but in the same element, he's understanding that when I've done my thing, I would need to have a gas mask. I would need to have a cup of tea and a foot rub or whatever. He's protecting my energy by allowing me to restore it. There we go. That is the ideal version of what a man who understands his masculinity and feminine doesn't feel belittled or intimidated by a woman who has passion, but also understands how a man can protect a woman from a very gentle place. There we go. That's a man that's done some work there. Well done, my Dan. Well done, darling. Now, a man who's got too much feminine wounded energy would say, look at her on her high horse, thinks she knows everything, she ain't got a damn clue. Because he would be triggered and he would have to go, a woman should have everything done and I should be able to come home after I've been to work and put my damn feet up. Where's protecting your woman's energy? And then at the end of the day, when you want her to be feminine and say, come on, lady, let's get into the bedroom, wondering why your woman doesn't feel very feminine because her hormones are raging like estrogen's going out the roof because all day she's been in that masculine energy doing the things that you should have done. And this is where the energy of sexual tension dies and men cheat and they go off because they want to feel wanted and appreciated somewhere else. But then realize 3 years down the line, three months down the line, it's exactly the same with the other woman because everybody's dealing from exactly the same place. Wounded energy. And deep down, we do want to be treated like a woman, have a soft feminine nature. And men do want to be adhered to like a masculine man. Bottom of the deck. Could you make that shit up? The yang energy. Masculine. It's the masculine energy. It's here. Yes. Synchronizations. I got it going on. Okay, so the song that came to me yesterday and it kept coming. It was Oh Happy Days. Oh happy days when Jesus washed. When Jesus washed, he washed my sins away. So there's some masculine out there that's or feminine's understanding where they went wrong and thinks, I want to wash that away. I need to wash the sins of the past away and deal with this because I don't want to attract another man in that I have to do everything for. Hello, doula. And then we have some masculines out there that realize I've done wrong. I wished I could just wash all my sins away. And there's that wake up call. There's that inherent knowing that you have to internally change a part of yourself to get what you really want on the outside world, because what's going on the inside and outside isn't matching. So this is for the masculine energy, whether this be in yourself or within a divine masculine partner. We have 1414. So working on yourself creates 4, which is a stability that's going to bring somebody in. We have the why. Why did you say those things? Why was those cycles there? Why did you have to go through the life experiences you did? Because that's the way we was raised. We've just attained to that. Why that happened was because that was how we've had to look into the book of knowledge. Exactly, exactly. Now, a masculine man would see that and be like, who do you think you're talking to? No, nah, that's my woman. I'm protecting her. Now, if you're in your glory and you can handle it, a man will say, that's my woman. Oh, yeah. The second the line is crossed, a masculine man would step in and say, God, no. Some men are that masculine, they wouldn't even let you or attain to that, to get to that point. Bottom of the deck, fork in the road. Asking the right questions now and understanding the answers can help you make the right choice in where you go with your future. Asking yourself why you had to be the person to carry all of the burdens, why you was the one who pushed a masculine man away, believing he was too controlling, or not allowing a man to come in to start with the energy that you was going to respect, because you wasn't attracting that energy. You was attracting a weaker version of a man because you was the stronger version of the woman. Right. One more, please, Spirit. One more, please, Spirit. Ah, soulmates. So this is all about asking the right questions to understand the answers. This is connected to a soulmate. This is connecting the divine masculine with the divine feminine. This could be within you two and balancing the two energies out. Or this could be you dealing with your energy and attracting in your soulmate. One of the two, but either which way, it's a perfect alignment of the both of them. We have a 41, and what's that card number? 31. 31 and 41. Okay, so then we have a 4. So the answer of why is a 4. Soulmates is a 5. The 5 is change. 4 is stabilizing yourself, finding the answers to give you the stability. 5 for you to be able to move forward, to make the changes, to attract and bring in a masculine energy that is there for you, or a feminine energy that is for you. One of the two. Bottom, to be fair. Okay, we've never had this one, so we will take the 3. Okay, the three cards. I'm going to read just the to be fair, because we understand what the soulmates means now. We understand the why. We've had these cards a few times round. So I would just get the basic messages for the first 2, and then we'll do a full read on the to be fair. Then we will go in with a couple of guided ones, and we will do then the tarot. And then we will do a love connection between the two. Okay, 31. Then afterwards, if anybody wants to ask questions, if I can answer them, I'm more than willing to help. If anybody needs to ask any deeper questions, then my email is in there somewhere. I think I put it in the last one. I will also put it on again. I think it is in my description. I'm not sure, but I will do it again. If anybody needs to just reach out and just, even if it's something very basic, you know. Okay, why? Motives driving your intention, the power of knowing the why. So what's the power motivating you? Is it to get the job done because nobody else will? Or is it allowing somebody else to do the job knowing it isn't your job to do? Soulmates. Soulmates is a 41. Soulmates. Harmonizing partnerships of love, friendship, companionship, relationship, fostering the personal growth within you. You are meant to evolve and transform with the companionship of others. Certain people enter into your life in order to take you to the next level of healing, consciousness, and authenticity. It is always a reciprocal experience. Although the results of each will vary, you know these people by the strong pull that is drawing you towards them, and sometimes by a strong aversion to them initially too. Soulmates can be friends for life or remain in your life for only a short amount of time. No matter what, you will be changed in ways that you couldn't possibly fathom right now. Pay attention to these people today. They are your greatest gift. Right, then we have 38. 38. So So there's people around, people explaining, pulling out this energy in you that you may not want to. So if you have a masculine wound, there may be somebody around you today that's pulling that out, i.e. me. My biggest thing, I hate putting the bins out. I can't do it. I struggle with the walking and carrying the weight of the bins and putting it out. It doesn't matter how many times I say to the children, I need your help. They're grown men now. There's one who's now 20, one who's 18, one who's 17. Learning them to have the ability to be the man. I keep saying, you know, so we've had this talk. We've kind of balanced out. I've explained that I made massive mistakes in the past because of the way I was raised. My mom always attained to the boys in our house, and the women had to get up and just do everything, and they didn't get the appreciation or reward for it. But a man would get a reward for picking up a polish rag. She appreciated the little things, whereas I would do the cooking, the cleaning, the babysitting and all the rest of it, making sure everything was done before she come home from work, and feel almost no appreciation, want, need or gratification for it. So I always then decided I'm going to work twice as hard in the male relationships I'm going to have because I want to have that back. And in the end, I gave more than I ever got back because I never had it as a child. Okay, to be fair. Let's see what this card even looks like. Oh, she has a bridal gown on and she has scales in one hand. And look what looks like a shell of some kind or another. There's an owl of wisdom on her head. So this is somebody who's very knowledgeable. There are 4 hands. She's holding the weight on her shoulders, but it's equal balanced. And she's in her feminine energy here. Balance, justice. A need to consider the options, a mutual benefit, the law of cause and effect. What have I just been speaking about for the last 35 minutes? By you being out of balance, the effect here is that you caused a man to not stand up and be a man. The cause here was that you created so much masculinity around you, you had to live in the survival mode for so many years. Balancing those energies out brings in a mutual benefit. It brings in balance and it will bring in justice because the laws and effects have both been now put at ease and in alignment. Hi, my darling. Hiya, Karen. Life offers experiences that are challenging and experiences that are nourishing. Yet over time, they strike a balance. You move from being from status to doing, from discovering to loving, to letting go, to beginning again. Life is a pendulum swinging between those states. So when you're on your own and you have to be into that masculine, you have to then swing back into your feminine before we come into a relationship. If you go into a relationship in the high masculine, you're going to attract a high feminine man. If you swing in your high feminine, you're going to swing into your high masculine man. If you want to have an equal balance, you have to have the equal balance. You attract like for like. Accept them without judgment, and you will see how the universe adjusts to you in perfect balance. You reap what you sow. For every cause, there is effect. Wondrous things are going to be revealed about who you are right now. So the talk we just had has probably opened up your mind if you've never thought about it. Maybe you have, I don't know. But once you understand it, once somebody says it, the light bulb moment goes on and you can understand that when next time you go into that, I'll do it my damn self. No, don't. Does it really have to be done right now? You may want the bins put out, but do you need them put out? So if you live in a house full of men like me, for 4 days the bins were sitting there. But come Tuesday night when the bins were being emptied Wednesday morning, the bins were done. The men seen they didn't need to be done. You just wanted them done. I will do what's needed when it's needed. I will not put them out when you want me to. Want is not a good enough attention for a man to do. I need a man. So when I needed the bins put out, the bins were put out. But not only were the bins put out, they then hoovered. They did the dishwasher. They got around and they did all the extra jobs. So when I went downstairs to make tea, the things that I would have normally done, I didn't need to be done. I didn't even want those things doing. I was happy to do those things myself. The second you take this stress and energy away from putting it on them, give them the understanding that they know what they have to do. Women have this thing about repeating. Keep going on. Keep going on. If it's not done when you need it, that's different. But just because you want it doesn't mean it has to be done. And if you want it done, I'll do it my damn self. If that's your attitude, you will keep having to do it. And nobody will ever see the need for it to be done, because there isn't a need for it to be done. Why? Because you wanted it done and you've done it. Allow the need to come in and the need will be met. Okay. Let's get a Melly Mermaid card. And let's get a Melly Mermaid card. So right now, you might think, well, I'm ready and I want my masculine to come in. I want my masculine to be like this. I want my masculine, but you don't need it yet. When you get in the energy of, I have pulled myself so far in, I'm ready now to need the affections of a man. I'm ready to now be in the energy of needing a man to come in and warm to me. Then you will have it. This morning, the message was we was going to find truth. The downloads came and the truth was delivered. So, for the masculine energy within you, or the masculine that you are connecting to, which is here, the soulmate. We've asked the question, why? Is this soulmate connection the way it is? We've answered those with knowledge. We have to balance it out. We have to be fair. We have to understand that a lot of the issues within the connection, we are half at fault to blame for. Okay, Melly Mermaid card. Melly Mermaid for the masculine energy. What's the overall message that needs to be delivered with our Melly Mermaid cards? That was one to be flipped, so I'm going to put that aside. I'm not going to turn it over yet because I want one to directly come out. There we go. Okay, so we are breaking free. Look. This energy is breaking free from the octopus. The octopus is sticky. It's tight. It's infusing. These are the generational belief systems of how to be this woman. You have to break free of the mind understanding of where you were, of the whys. Breaking free of the whys. The book that you was raised by. And opening up to a different form of knowledge and being wise with this and balancing it out. Being wise with the owl of wisdom upon the head. And balancing it out without, look, she's not actually holding the weight of anything. It's on her shoulders. But her hands are free to be able to touch the balance and the justice that's going on within her. In an energy to connect you with your soulmate. So, that's the card that wanted to come out. The silent card that wanted to come was solitude. Solitude isn't about being alone or on your own or feeling lonely. Solitude is taking yourself to a place to really start to understand. Now, if you can see here, look. Whether that's the moon or the break of day is breaking through the clouds. So this for me is your intuition, your understanding of the situation, your understanding to how you have created certain things. She's sitting on a very small island here with all the emotions running around her. You are understanding, having a breakthrough moment about your emotions. And sitting within solitude is going to give you the oversight and the wisdom to see why things had to happen, why you were the way you were, why you brought in soulmates that may not have been here for the long time, but were here because they was needed at the right time. And breaking free from cycles of understanding that never served you no justice. That allowing, look, they're breaking free. Look, see how she's not doing nothing. She's not struggling. And the octopus is losing his grip upon her. In solitude, we will have the breakthrough. So, you might have to attain to that part of where you are, or the masculine who's around you or connected to you is now understanding that he has to come in and be the more masculine energy, because I think for the first time you haven't run after them. You're not putting out an energy of hurt, of I'm going to go and get pissed with my mates now, fuck you, fuck the relationship and all the rest of it. You're healing. You're in a very balanced place, and you're not coming from the same broken energy of how this has happened in cycles and cycles gone by. By changing your energy changes theirs. Okay, let's see. Let's get in some tarot now then. And I will see what we can come up with. Right. We are going to use my Nordic magic deck today. We're going to use my Nordic deck. Right, let me see if I can do this. Let me see. Oh, right, okay. Let's see, let's see. I don't know, but I'm going to see if I can give you a better angle. Probably isn't all that good, is it? But at least you can see the shuffling going on, and you might be able to see. Yeah, and that's the thing, you see. You are what you attract. And you see, the more dependable you are, the less a man has to have that dependable side. Why? Because you've already got it. That's like, imagine there's two people that need to fill out one job role. Two of you have to work in the kitchens. But one of you says, no, I'm going to cook, I'm going to season, I'm going to prepare. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And at the end of the day, moaning why the other person hasn't pulled their weight when you haven't let go of the control. Both of you are in a job together. And this is how you both have to work together. Allowing somebody else to do it, even if it's not the way you do it, allow them to still do it. That way you are both having equal input, regardless of how it works out. So this is the Nordic deck. We're going with the Nordic deck now. Okay. Okay. So, the difficulties within the connection was that there was, I'm trying to get the right angle. I really do need another camera that's got another angle or viewpoint or something. It's my new desk. It goes all the way around in a big L shape, and it's got some swirly sides with all my cards and my printer and everything on there. So, Two of Swords. You created a difficult situation by not being open to receive. You created a situation which was difficult. The Five of Cups. Generally, the Five of Cups isn't how this card is illuminated, but we're going to go with this card, the way that this deck speaks about it. So this is hope. So the divine masculine in you understands now that they have been protecting a part of you for so long. But there is hope. There is hope. Divine masculine within you, or the divine masculine connected to you, has hope. The hope that this can move forward. How do I know it's forward? Because we have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is all about hope. The hope and patience. You have to have patience. So for so long, you protected yourself in the masculine energy. For so long, the masculine protected his heart. But there was always hope that things could change in an emotional connection. And the energy is to have patience, because this person is in solitude. They're breaking free because they finally asked why these cycles keep happening, why they are in the position they are in life right now. They've understood that things have to be on an even level. Their balance has to be replaced. They have to be fair if they want to attain the love from their soulmate. Things have to work in the divine order that is set out. Oh, oh, oh. Okay. 3 cards. Oh, look at that. All swords. All swords. The first sword. The 5 of Wands. Divine masculine is going through battles. The divine masculine within you. Now you understand what's going on because you've seen it. You ask the right questions, and asking the right questions, you get delivered the answer. You understand now that in the past, things maybe not have been fair. You did not make the even playing field. You didn't make it easy for this divine masculine because you were the divine masculine. Thank you, Debbie. And the battle. So divine masculine is going through battles right now. You may have to battle with yourself to break away from the cycles that this divine masculine, the wounded masculine energy you carry. So that way, that opens up for the divine masculine to come into you. Then we have the 8 of Wands. No, sorry, it was the Ace of Wands next. So after the battles becomes, was it new adventures? No, it was the 8 of Wands. Sorry, 5, 8. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry. I've got, because I turned around. So then there's communication. As soon as, because now this is understood, you have to communicate it to your psyche. You have to put it out there to the universe, and you have to communicate your needs and your desires and your changes and your wants. When you've battled with your own internal thoughts and you've communicated this, the new adventures can begin. The new part of you being able to live within your feminine energy starts. Connected to a masculine. He's going through his battles right now. Because he's battling that dark night of the soul where you understand the part of you that made you be in the situation that you're in. At this point, the communication comes in. This could be him communicating to you or the divine connecting to him. The wisdom of the owl connecting to the masculine side of you or the masculine around you to bring in this new adventure. The second he realizes it's so, okay, we've got a bot in the house. The second that is transmuted and understood, because the battle, once you've understood it, you understand, I've been protecting myself. I understand why I'm in the way I am. Then you have an internal battle. And this is the internal battle. Facing the battle. Facing the battle. I'm not choosing for the cards to come out in threes. That's just the way they're coming. It's like mini messages all going together. Things haven't been as they seem. There's been an illusion around this for so long. You could have believed that this man wasn't a man. No, but you wasn't allowing to be. And he may have thought, well, you was too controlling as a woman. Yes, because you wasn't controlling enough as a man. He wasn't doing his man role for you to be able to be gently put into. No, that's all right. Don't worry. I don't think it was. It was that Vogue dot something something. It might have been a real name, but it's got that dot thing. I'm not being funny, but nobody comes in here speaking like that. And if you do, then don't do it again, because you'll get kicked out again. I don't care. So, the illusion of the moon. There are things we do not understand and never will about the opposite sex. That's why we are attracted to them. Because things from an opposite polarity draw us in. Understanding them takes a lifetime, but you have to accept them before you can understand them. The same as yourself. The second you accept it, is he a man or a mouse? These are foxes. These are foxes. The foxes under the moonlight. It's all right, don't worry. The moon, illusions. This is you having the illusion about what your masculine's doing. And this is the illusion that your masculine holds what you're doing. This is all based on what? Emotions. What is the shadow side that comes out in the moon related to the crab? Their outside and exterior is hard to crack. Internally, it's all mush and emotions. The outside is hard to crack. What is it protecting? The inside mushy emotions of the heart. So these illusions that you have been creating have may well been the reason why this Two of Swords. Yes, the crab is about to come. And look, the crab's about to be coming out. And is going to bite both these foxes on the arse. And look, there's a crowd of people in the background. So, hang on a minute. Has people been telling you things or stories to manipulate you, to make you believe that these people weren't doing things from their highest good, or that there could have been third parties? Has people been listening too much to other people? Because other people are in the shadows and the darkness just like you. If you have people around you telling you, kick him to the curb, don't allow this to happen, why are you such a walkover, they do not understand the connection of soulmates. And with the energy of the moon cycle the way it is, there's a lot of things that aren't seen. And it's a Cancer moon we've just been through. So things are so emotionally charged. People believing, a masculine believing that the feminine is off with somebody else. And the feminine probably believing the masculine's off with somebody else. When really it's all an illusion. All an illusion. Maybe they are. Maybe they're not. But is thinking about it going to do anything other than giving you all these swords? Break free from that belief system. Break free from having to ask somebody else why and ask yourself. Soulmates are here for a reason. Is it a long time or is it just the right time? Okay, let's see. Energy of the divine masculine. Energy of the divine masculine regarding this moon and the illusion of cycle. Okay, so we have the Knight of Cups and we have the Knight of Swords. So this could either be you and your person, one of each, or your person or yourself has both entities, has both energies, and you flip from one to the other. So if the illusion here is, I can't see what's going on, but I'm told by these people in the shadow what's going on. 1 minute you go from, I want to offer my love, but my fish is on the floor because these people around me have given me the impression that everything that's going on is not for my highest good, rather than listening to yourself. But what you don't see, look behind you. There's a rainbow behind you. So maybe all your life you've been told you had to be this strong, masculine woman who had to fight the bears. Look, coming in the background, there's a grizzly bear, and the grizzly bear is coming to get the fish that's in front of you. The dreamer can sometimes be outweighed by the Knight of Swords. The spontaneity in the middle of the night, in those moments where you feel at your most darkest, those feelings where the emotions start creeping in like the crab out of the sea at night to come and bite you on your ass and create an illusion. And then you spontaneously take this sword out and cut things out. Start cutting yourself down. Start overthinking with this sword of lies and illusions that aren't there. Make you believe the illusion that you have to be this all-powerful, doing kind of woman that never has anybody that they have to need in their life. And because of this, when you want something done, rather than waiting for the masculine or the men around you to step up and do it, you just take your sword and you end up cutting your own nose off to spite your face. Because spontaneity, I'll just bloody do it. Bottom of the deck, what we don't see. When we can sort these issues out, when we can deal with the inner masculine of our dreamer, and the spontaneity by not listening to the illusion of whatever anybody else has told us in the past, breaking free from those brain beliefs and cycles, we can have a cup full of emotions. And then union can commence. This is union of the divine masculine and divine feminine within you. This can also be the union of the divine masculine and the divine feminine in the soulmate connection. By dealing with how you were in your toxic way without blaming somebody else and taking accountability to change who you are, you attract your soulmate in on a deeper level. I'm going to put those back in because at the bottom of the deck, look, all you needed was clarity. Clarity will come in. But clarity will come in with structure. Now, the structure isn't here right now. But conflict is. Why isn't it? Because we're in retrograde. We do not go direct for another week or two. So things are going to be up in the air. Rather than allowing those dark nights of these moon cycles and retrogrades dragging you back in, sit down within the energy. Understand where you've been. Use the solitude of the time that you have now to work on yourself. Ask yourself the question why. Do not run to these people who don't know any better than you. There is no more better person to ask than yourself. When you need an answer, go within. Because if you don't, you're going to create more issues, more internal battles within your own mind. And when the retrograde starts fading out, and you've learned to process how you are the masculine energy around you as well. Sorry, I'm just going to move the chair. The Eight of Cups comes in. Eight of Cups in the general tarot means emotionally walking away from something, turning your back on things. This deck, it doesn't. The Eight of Cups opens up doorways. Yes, the doorway could be to completely walk away from this soulmate. This could also be asking yourself why and walking away from the illusion that you had to have the masculine energy to be worthy, that you had to be all being and all knowing, that you had to be the man and the woman in your relationship, in your connection. It's the full moon in Pisces on the 1st of February. I haven't got the latest moon chart. I know we're in Capricorn at the moment. I know we're in Capricorn, or going into Capricorn. There's something to do with the Capricorn moon that came in, and that attains to mine is my spirituality and something else. I'm not sure where. I'll have to go. I'll have a look, and when I do the one tomorrow, when I do the feminine reading tomorrow, I'll look in depth for that, Dan, and I'll find out. I'll find out for you. So, doorways are opening. Doorways are opening for you to have emotional withdrawals. So, the doorways to the past of you being this masculine energy and this masculine is having doorways opened to allow him to walk away from the emotions that kept him in the belief system in the past, that he had to maybe be the more feminine, passive. And you, the masculine energy, had to be the doer, all-knower, the one who put it down, the one who didn't know how to gently soften herself out into the feminine energy, realizing that you are attracting what you're attracting. So you have to emotionally walk away from that person who kept you safe. For me, that was the mother in me. And that's why I had that big breakthrough, I don't know, about a week ago or so, where I understood back then and in that very moment, the mother that protected my heart from being hurt didn't have to protect me no more. I'm of such oneness to myself, and I had to get that through solitude, and I learned how to break free. This all happened to me about a week or so ago, but I know the energy is here, and there's plenty out there that are now going through the same cycle as what I went through. And me having to go through it first to understand it, to break it down, to see the psychology behind it, and how the masculine and feminine relate to each other, and go and watch these counsellors at work and do seminars to understand the connection between male and females, and how the genetics from the 60s to now where we are, and the women's movement completely swung the pendulum in different directions, which has affected us to the degree that we have an illusion of what a masculine and a feminine energy is all about. 22, 22, yes. Bottom of the deck. So now the Tower happens. This for me is the lightning and burning of those old cycles. Burning the thoughts and burning the way that we used to do it. The dragon has been let out. The truth has been let out. The Tower moment here is you realizing, actually, I have to let that masculine wounded energy go within me. And I have to give up the need of control. Give up the need of trying to force things that did not come in. I think it's March the 2nd. I did think it was March the 2nd. But I will double check. I will have a look. To allow the knowledge to come in. The new knowledge. Look, there's two people here at the bottom of this. There's two people. The divine knowledge is now being cast upon these two people. The messages from the divine, fast-moving energy is coming in. The communication is coming in. And this is going to bring in the energy of a new excitement, the new adventure. This could be the new adventure for you to want to move forward and find a new soulmate. This could be a soulmate who you are already connected to coming back, whatever that is. We know why we're here with twin flames. This is what I do. I'm a twin flame reader, although I haven't had the Six of Cups come out, or the Lovers. Those two are normally the two that I attain to in the reading. But we are reading for the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. They are connected, and they're connected through what I would class as the twin flame journey. That's why you're here watching Twin Flame Tattoo Twin. That is who I am. That is why I'm here. That's why my journey for me was the catalyst. He was the catalyst that allowed me to see the brokenness. He illuminated what was inside of me. And I illuminated the darkness that was within him. Okay. Let's see where this foundation and tower. What's this tower going to bring? It's going to bring harmony. It's going to make you finally breathe and say, I understand why all these years I felt the need, or I felt the way I have. I understand it now. It wasn't me. It was a belief system that I was given. It was a toxic belief and a way of doing things from home. Look, from home, from generations. From generations. And you have to walk away. Look, she's taking a long walk away down this weary road to her fish. Well, that's the fish that was in the cup of the dreamer. So this new revelation, these new insights coming in, these new messages that have been delivered to you are going to shake things up in your world, because this is where change has to happen. Tower is the end to create change for the new beginning, for the new what? For the new adventures to come in. For the new adventures. Now, the Knight of Wands came out in reverse, which is impulsiveness. So by having harmony, rather than being impulsive, and doing the things the way you used to do them, i.e. what I was talking about. Hiya Jojo. By doing the things that we used to do, well, down it, I'll do it my damn self, and being impatient and running to do it. The masculine, by being impatient and running off to get the need and attention from somewhere else because they weren't getting from home. The impulsiveness is no longer there. The Knight of Wands is not normally a good energy, because it is, look, the impulsiveness from the King of Wands, from the Knight of Wands, is normally the player origin, isn't it? And what we got here, somebody who's not stable, only on one foot, and somebody who's a bit like a rabbit. Well, the Wands is the player. So rather than going off breeding like rabbits, running her off like a wild rabbit, the impulsiveness slows down. Bottom of the deck, to allow a playfulness energy to come in. And then we have the rebirth. So you're in the element now, carrying this masculine energy of learning how to balance it. Now the truth has been seen and why you're carrying it. And the masculine around you or connected to you could also be having tower moments that are happening right now. This is going to create harmony. This is going to create harmony. Couple more. Because the Magician, mastering the arts of who you are, mastering the energy between the two of your one polarity, the masculine and feminine within you. And the masculine then able to be the magician, to transform, to be the master of his own world and the master of his own destiny. Mum is working, won't be long now, nearly finished. 2 more and then we will get love messages connected to this. And that is when you get the gift. The gift will come in, the 6 of Pentacles. 1 more. Okay, I wanted 1 and we've got 4. Okay. The gift will come in. All you have to do is have the courage Look, she's tamed that beast. Look how she's got that red ribbon. The red ribbon is the cord. The cord that is connected to the soulmate. The cord to your future. By taming the beast and having the strength, all you need is the motivation to keep going. The world. The world is going to turn. And this is going to give you a whole new motivation to do things the right way this time. Because now you understood that you've always done things from the wrong way. You're going to be able to step out and completely see life in a good way. And then we have the Nine of Cups. Good fortune is blessed in an emotional capacity those who are willing to make the changes. Those who are willing to motivate themselves and have the courage to say, I have been the reason why these things have failed in the past. And all we need, Seven of Pentacles, is the faith. The faith to keep stepping forward. And this is where the energy is now. Bottom of the deck. By doing all this, we lead ourselves to the fall. New beginnings. And this is where the new cycle will begin. Now, the new cycle could be you understanding who you are. The new cycle could be a soulmate coming back in to start a new cycle with you. But either which way, if you are not the same person that you was, you're not going to attract in the same person that left. It may be the same body, the embodiment of them. Just like you are the same body, but the embodiment of who you are has now changed. You are not the same person that you were. Because the learning and understanding to who you were, you've broke free from that. You went into solitude and you asked why. Bottom of the deck, guilt. There may be some guilt attached to this, but understand that you was put on a path long before you even understood what any of this was all about, that led you to be the person you are. I'm a different person than I was a week ago before my heart chakra opened. The cause are mainly the same, but the way I see things now is completely different. And that's the same. Now, if you can change, when people say, he'll never change, they'll never change. If you've changed, what makes you think that they haven't? Why are you so special compared to somebody else? Why? You are as toxic as this other person. You can be as toxic as the next person. Seeing your toxic sides, being accountable for them, changing the cycles and going within, allows you to come forward. Well, thank you, Karen. It is a much more efficient desk, I must admit. You were seeing purple last week. Right. Now, I've had another version of decks come in, so I'm going to have a little play with them while we are here. They're called the Intimacy deck. Good afternoon, Alban. My body's transformed a hell of a lot. What do they call it? I've expanded in my mental ability and my body has followed. Expansion. It's all about expansion. Oh yes, if you go back to the videos of me 2 years ago, the face is a completely different shape. The arms have filled out. The guns are here. The hairs grew, the minds grew, the knowledges grew, and so was the backside. Right. Here we go. That one wanted to come. So did they. I was only going to take one, maybe two. But we have 4. So the universe. Synchronicity. Attraction. Deeply. So the universe is guiding you to that special person. Allow everything to take its natural course. Allow the universe to guide you to where you need to be in this person. A divine soul counterpart and a relationship is blessed. There is going to be some amazing moments of synchronicity. This divine soul counterpart, the attraction transcends the superficiality of what's going on around you because their connection connects to you deeply. Deeply. Looking deeply within to discover your soul purpose in your relationships. Looking within gets you the answers to what's going on the outside. Okay, so this new deck I have, look, it comes in a stagnation of 6 decks. There are different elements to this deck. They are the past, random, life, relationships, intimacy, and things about you. So we're going, because we're looking in, aren't we? We're looking at ourselves and how we can grow. So we're going to go the about you version. We are going to find the about you version, which is the dark blue, which is the top one. Oh, how lovely is that? No, I have not looked at these. I glanced at one earlier and it was very sexualized. So maybe we'll pull those out for the Valentine's. I've got 2 or 3. I've got a twin flame deck on order. That should be here hopefully before Valentine's Day. And I also have a tarot deck of sexual love and positions or something. So thank you, honeybee. Thank you, my darling. Right. Do they separate properly? Right. Okay. I've wanted to... every time I've shook, they flip straight out. And it's the same ones. So I'm going to pull those. We have 3. Describe how you'd prefer. No, describe how you'd spend your perfect Sunday. These are things about you. Find things out about you. As a good parent, would you be the good cop or the bad cop? I used to always be the bad cop. Why? Because I believed the masculine energy within me had to control and police. The bad cop controls. With what? Fear. So, divine masculine will control situation with fear. Now, if they are not outwardly masculine towards you, fear could also be in relation to making you feel fearsome. How does a man do this? I've watched enough psychology. I've done the psychology. I've done 3 or 4 seminars this week. They do it with non-verbalization, ghosting. They understand it brings fear to a woman when she cannot speak to you. This is a very toxic trait, but it's one that is usually learned. Do you consider yourself conservative, moderate, or liberal with your political learnings? Explain to yourself. So, are you conservative and see things in a one dynamic way? Do you see things from a very moderate way? So are you more balanced? Do you remember the pendulum in the beginning? We had it over here, the liberals. The conservatives used to run it, and then the liberals come in and the women express, the women of the suffragettes. We are the women of yesterday, soldiers to soldiers, the women's votes and all that malarkey. They swung the pendulum completely in the opposite direction. The key here is to be in the middle. But you have to really internalize and ask yourself the question, where do you lay on the pendulum? Because what you're going to attract is going to be your complete opposite. So be careful how you are or who you are, because then you will know who you are attracting. The more forceful in nature, masculine you are, the less masculine the man has to be. Women want a masculine man until a masculine man tells you what to do, or guides you, or shows you that side of him. And then you want to back out because we've been raised in a society that made us survive and not live. I think that is about it. I don't think there's anything more that we can do here. I think we've kind of reached the end of that reading. I've got some love cards coming as well, some little heart-shaped ones, some proper lovey-dovey ones for the feminine and the masculine love connection energy, all related down to you know, the Valentines, because I don't have any loving dove index because I've been very much in my masculine energy for such a long time. Love was something that happens, but not necessarily something that you openly spoke about. The pain was much more easier. The defending of who you are, which is that masculine energy, opening up to my heart chakra meant. Oh, thank you, Joe. Thank you so much. I appreciate you too. I may need to pick your brain soon about those 2 cameras. Yeah. And I think at one point in my life, I was very much the opposite way. When I was in the harshest of my toxic way, I was very much, I used to try and run my house with an iron fist. My belief system was, correct the children of today. Like, discipline is hard, whatever is. I've never really done the smacking thing or anything like that. But use fear to control your children until you realize what fear does to them. You will mongoose home teacher. What does that mean? Yeah, I'm doing my first official full lesson. Was that a typo? My first official proper lesson tomorrow. We've done guided lessons. We've done like variations of maths through cooking and all of that kind of thing, and acknowledging, because we've had to do the transition from school life into what is going to be homeschooling. So I've got a whole now selection of things downstairs, from every kind of mathematical toy, phonics, we have the world globe and atlas. I've even bought a printer and a scanner and all the rest of it. And I've downloaded apps. I've had to pay monthly subscriptions. I've got them all set up for tomorrow. Look, we've got phonics. We've got letter and word associations. We've got numbers, smaller penguins to the littler penguins. All tomorrow's work is already set up and aligned. I'm on the ball with this. For somebody who didn't really understand much about education, didn't really get one, let alone didn't know how to properly read and write after I had my stroke a few years ago, I'm doing it. You're more than welcome, honeybee. And I'm glad that it resonated. Oh, well, thank you very much. I hope so. The desk is now big enough I can have 2 chairs that side of it for my 2 little ones. My son, we bought him a new desk today so he can work separately on his own, in his own room. I've downloaded a lot of information. So his first project is doing colour by numbers, but to get the number you have to do times table maths equation. So when he's got the equation, he will figure out the number and he will colour the picture, and that will take him a few hours. And then he can start his Valentine's project, looking into where Valentine's Day started, how it all came together, and then write an essay over the next week. Yeah, I don't like the conformity of the outside, and it pens down those people who have a different aspect of the world and the way they look in the vision, and I think it closes the vision off. It kind of puts them into my children have never been able to put into a box, and I struggled with the elder children because I didn't have the ability to read and write and really get to grips with it, and they lost a lot of years in school because of it. I mean, we moved to a new town and they wouldn't even educate them where we were. So for 3 years, they had no education, and I wasn't able to educate them. I was mind blown. I was in toxic relationships. I was a very toxic person. I was just getting out of my toxic cycles with drugs and alcohol and medications and all the rest of it. Now that I'm clean, completely aware of what's going on, I don't have anybody in my life on a romantic level, on any level. I can't remember the last time. Cindy and me, talk, and there's a lady that I do some healing with from the other side of in America, Nebraska ways. Those are the only two people that my phone ever goes off for, other than my daughter, and she's away, so I don't really hear off her at the moment, and messaging my sons. So I have a very oh, to speak of the devil, and she's just messaged me, hi, when you come on you'll know who you are. So yeah, those are the only people I have any contact with other than my children. So now I'm in the element of being able to do this. And yeah, exactly. I don't like the pigeon box thing, and especially because I've got two that have got like issues going on. We've got like S with Sen, and one's autistic tendencies and the other one's Asperger's. So I can see how the outside world doesn't penetrate them. They don't see in the same format. I've been watching a lot of intellectual podcasts and studies of the last couple of weeks, and it shows you how they see things in a completely different integral way. Which is why when you change things around, my son, he walks in and he doesn't understand it. He can kind of lose his way. So I'm doing it in a way that's, you see, in the old school, he always used to say, well, I'm the shittest at reading. I can't read like they. I can't do like this. And he would always compare himself to somebody else. So now when we start our school, I said, well, you're the brightest in your class. You're the best reader. And going from that format in already, I mean, I've even downloaded, yeah, look at this. He's so excited to get one. And just by doing this has given me inspiration already. Certificates. Look, I've downloaded it and printed off spelling certificates. Whether you've got all of these superstar awards, just to acknowledge that they've done super spellings, super reading, great story writing, another one for super handwriting. Those are the kind of little things that in the past he would have to really fight for, because he wasn't as good at understanding things. I mean, don't get me wrong, once I realised that the issues were so deep rooted, and you know, it had a couple of teachers that really seen it, so they started to pull out those kind of things and use a gratification reward system rather than a you know, trying to knock on and a negative, oh, you're not doing this, do this, or try and pick him up. So we're going into this new schooling completely in the opposite way round. It is. It just kind of makes them see things from a different aspect and a different point of view. But it's me also connecting to the feminine side of me that understands that by opening, you can learn things and you can welcome them in to be more receptive to me by me being in my more feminine realm. In the past, I couldn't have done it because I carried that much masculine energy. I didn't have that attention span for it. I was the doer. I was, well, I've got to go and do this and this and this, and I'd rather make things and build things and create things, but without the soft energy of putting it in. Open an orange for you. Okay. The boy said it's a tomato. It's a tomato. No, it's not a tomato. It's an orange. It's an orange, yeah. We don't have tomatoes in this country. We have tomatoes. We need to stop watching YouTube, or we need to move to America.
No, stay in England.
Stay in England?
Yes.
Yes. Even though you speak American? With your garbage and your trash. There you go. I love you.
How are you talking English? Spanish.
It's not Spanish.
How are you talking Spanish?
It's not Spanish. Well, here we go. Well, I love you and leave you. And I will be back tomorrow to do the same kind of thing for the feminine energy and those who have wounded feminine energies in them. And we'll see it then. He's a little darling, isn't he? Well, good night all. Love you loads. This is a bit of a long live, but we got there in the end. I think it was needed. Hopefully everything was explained for you to understand the masculine side of things. So on that note, I'll see you for the morning message tomorrow. Good night.